Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cochran. With me tonight, I have Mark Langridge as my co-host. We just witnessed Man United won 4-1 against Wolverhampton FC Wanderers. Was a absurd game. I would say very open game. Quality wise, not the best, but I think Man United had spells that was really good, really good. And Man United are up into sixth place right now, so things are actually looking good. And we needed this win. We needed this win. So glad to see a lot of you people have tuned in already. And I'm just gonna play the words from Amarim, and we can all remember them.
Moments we play good, sometimes we play bad.
Yes, so it's so true. It's so true. Sometimes we play good, sometimes we play bad. Today, luckily for us, we played good. Guys, I made a poll. Who is your man of the match? Maybe there were some other players. So if you're not agreeing, I will make another poll. I saw people mentioning Mason Mount. My nominees was Cunha, Mbeumo, Bruno, and Dalot. So let's see. A lot of people tuned in. Smash like and subscribe. If this is your first time on the Tactical Devils, let's celebrate. Man United won a football game. Yes, yes. See you after the intro. Boom, 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 boom. The Tactical Devils are back. We won a game, Man United. And with me tonight, I have my good friend, Mark Langridge, in the house. And I see a lot of you people have tuned in already. So it's a good day being a Man United fan. Not every day we win with such a margin. How do you feel, Mark?
I feel a lot better than I did 45 minutes ago. That's for sure. Look, this is a game. This was a win or sacked, kind of game tonight. It had that big vibe going with what was going on at Wolves with the protests and that before the match. But you can't complain. I thought, I just heard you address it. Mason Mount, unbelievable. The kind of passing that guy was doing today. Nothing super special, but it was just crisp into feet.
Yeah.
There was just moments of really good football, and then we got to the final third, and we get a normal panic sort of what do we do when we get here. So yeah, really good, really good. It was a good win. It was a much needed win. Sixth place. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but Everton and West Ham, we'd be a point off second right now if we'd won those games. So
yes,
we've done it. So onwards.
Let's not think about that on a night like this. We can only do what we did today, win the next game. So again, I think we looked good today. I think we looked sharp. We came out in the beginning of the game. We were determined to win, and I felt that there were never any doubt in a way. But suddenly, I would say halfway through the first half, things changed. And again, we can't see a solid performance for 90 minutes. Not trying to be negative, but we let ourselves drop down to a level where even Wolves can start dominating us. So I think the game was very open in a way, and the quality was really bad. So many misplaced passes, and it was both ways. I think we are playing too quick in a way. We are trying the first movement all the time, and we never settle down. We don't take the tempo of the game sometimes when needed to get a breather. And that's why I feel that we give everything for, let's say, 25, 30 minutes, and then we let Wolves into the game, because obviously we need to take a breather. We don't have the stamina to push on like that for full 90. So what's your take on that one?
I couldn't have said it better myself, Jarvis. I was literally about to say we seem to play well for the first 25, 30 minutes, and then the tempo drops. We go in for a break at halftime. We come out 30 minutes. We've got our goals. And then if you look at the last 15, 20 minutes, Cunha and that couldn't even get forward on a sprint when we had a counter-attack on. So
yes,
how are we playing one game a week and not fit enough? Like, that's a guaranteed like rest and recovery. There's you put in the hard work, surely you're getting the gains from it, especially if you're playing the matches. But
yeah,
yeah, what you said about the passing, like we were lucky they couldn't string a pass together. We talk about it a lot. Well, I definitely talk about it a lot. I'm not going to put it on the channel, but I definitely talk about the fact that Bruno vacating the midfield and leaves us wide open to the counter attack. I said it last night on the show. The best way if they could counter attack us is let Bruno have the ball, wait for him to give it away, and counter attack when he pushes too far forward.
yeah,
There was times I thought Casemiro's trying to lay a pass off to him, and he's not there, and we got lucky. We got lucky. It was only 1-1 at half time because the way they were going, I thought they could have got second.
yeah. I don't disagree. I think you are onto something. Before we go into the match, Jess, I just want to say hi to all the people who have tuned in already. I see Tom Porter in the house coming in saying Man United are sitting sixth with a +4 goal difference. Big up Tom Porter. Good to see you. Catherine No Nonsense McDade comes in and say Leach needs to start ahead of Fatboy Shaw. Well, you know, I think Leach is getting closer to a starting 11. I like Leach. I like what I see from him. We have Belal I am Titanium coming into the house, coming in and saying what was there to worry about? Apparently nothing. You know, I think we won deserved at the end. We have Danny B coming in, Irish Pit Terrier saying Mount man of the match, hands down. Yes. I changed the poll for you guys because I saw so many people talking about Mount, even the Mark. So Mount is one of the options now on the poll of who was your man of the match. And we will look at it at the end of the show. So get your votes in and please do us a favor and smash the like. Hussein is in the house. Big up Hussein. For me, it was Mount. Yes. A lot of people agree with you. Grace Sheridan coming in. Amarim is cooking. Big up, Grace. I hope you're well. And I must say, I think Dalot had a really good game today for once. You know, did he put their foot wrong?
He put a few misplaced passes, but that's nothing new for him. But apart from that, no. If anything, we didn't use him enough. We didn't use him enough. We kept using Ahmad, and I would have liked to see more crosses from that. You know, the corner sections where they actually went down to. Ahmad got a few in, but I think Dalot just cut back and passed backwards, played safe, and nothing wrong with that in today's game. It's the other games where we need to be moving the ball quicker. He needs to do it, but today, you're right. He didn't put a foot wrong. Not quite sure about the long throws today from him. I don't know who was expecting. We take Dalot off, bring Xerxes on, you know, when we actually do put some height in the box. So it's not like we were sending Heaven up from the back, who I thought was immense. I think he won every duel in the air. So.
Yeah, he put Strand Larsen in his back pocket for the evening. I think Heaven was brilliant. I have some footage of young Aiden Heaven, and we will look at it in a while. Routinator's in the house. Big up, Rooty. Good to see you. We have France. A lot of people have tuned in. Let me scroll down. Sorry if I missed your name. Luan France. Big up, Luan France coming in. Big up. Good to see you, Luan. And let's see. Let me scroll down. And we already have a super chat coming in from Belal I am Titanium coming in and say, I don't like seeing these defensive subs. Mark.
Okay. Jarvis, have you got a list of the subs that we had on the bench tonight?
Yeah, there weren't much to talk about, but
we made 4. We made 4 subs.
We had Mainu, Xerxes, Euro, Dorgu, and Shea Lacey, I believe, on the bench.
Out of 7 subs, that left Bryan Deer, Shea Lacey, and there would have been one other. We either don't make a sub or we only sub on defenders, because at the moment, that's all we've got sat on the bench. I know it doesn't feel great. I was a bit confused myself when he brought Euro and Martinez on at the same time. I thought that's a big change. You know, you've only got 3 defenders and you're changing 66% of it. But it worked. They came on. They worked well together. I thought Euro was going to go middle, and I was like, bloody hell, is he going to put Shaw or Martinez on the back. No, Martinez went in the middle, won his duels, stepped forward, cut through a couple of people, passed the ball.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised seeing Martinez in the central when they did the same sub. They put on Arakadouara, the Belgium, the guy who came from the Belgium league, the big guy. You know, I think he's 6'5" something. You know, and you put little Martinez besides him, but you know, we had no problem, you know, containing him. I think Martinez did quite well.
He knows how to lever the player out the way. So even if they're about to jump, he gets that little nudge on them and gets them out the way. So and the others dropped, as I try and teach all the time. If one's attacking, the rest of that back line drops, and they did for the flick on and narrow.
Yeah.
So but going back to Vuitton's thing, what other subs? I wanted Lacey on. We might as well touch on it now because he said it.
Yeah,
I think the perfect opportunity to bring Lacey on the right, Ahmad and Mbeumo. Whichever player you wanted to take off, he could have at least come on and tried to do something, get up to the pace of the game. Because I've just said to Jarvis before we went live, he's the only player we've got who can play on the right, currently sat on the bench.
Yeah.
So unless we're going to play Dorgu and Dalot at the same time, one on the right, one on the left, we're still going to need a sub because we change our wing backs within the game every single game so far this season.
I think, but you got to keep in mind, you know, I think our wing backs, especially Ahmad, was really good, and then same with Dalot today. But we got to remember this Molineux pitch is a wide pitch. It's plenty of space. It's one of the biggest in the Premier League, I suspect. Yeah. So there were a lot of space, and the way Wolves played defensively, not compact at all. They were wide open and they were stretched out. And you know they were so disjointed. I'm so glad I'm not a Wolves fan tonight because I would have been super frustrated, like for real, trying to support that team. You know, it's even worse than the worst we've seen from Man United. The defensive play was shambles at times. You know, leaving so much space open. And I don't know why, but they tried to press us high, but they didn't follow up. They couldn't be compact. And, you know, it made the job so easy for us. You know, Bruno had a field day today, you know, just spreading those passes. Same with Mason Mount and even Casemiro, you know. So, you know, this Wolves team, they are going down 100%. They are not staying up in this Premier League. They can't turn this around. The quality is not there.
Jarvis, do you think it's a bit of a prime example about what Amorim's had to struggle with? Because they were, like you said about the press, they pressed in a front four sort of diamond on us. So we went literally man for man. And then we just played these easy balls out between those little diamond sections to someone coming back. But no one followed that player in to get the ball. And it was like, Jesus, this is like youth football. You know, simple little passing pattern from the goalkeeper or the centre-back into a more advanced player. In fact, we played the diamonds that you talk about on here all the time. You know, we talk about it goes long and it gets laid back. We played that all day long and they couldn't counter it. It was more when we tried to play it and we vacated the midfield. That was the only time that it became a problem. But the manager's obviously changing tactics on them and they looked a little bit lost. And I've seen us do the same. Yeah. And in another way, they got their goal and they were buzzing and they were coming. Half-time blows, and we all know anyone who's played the game enough goes, when you don't want half-time whistle to go because you're feeling your team's getting going and there's another goal there or the chances are going to come. And then we just killed them. We've come out second half and absolutely destroyed them. And like we used to say last season and season before about Old Trafford, and the heads just went down when that goal went in. They just capitulated. You know, it was an honest mistake. The goalkeeper was caught in no man's land, but it was a clear miscommunication on what was going to happen. Yeah. So, and that's always likely to happen if they're changing the way they play at the back. But then the players, Wolves just went, oh.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you know, we could easily sit here and say Man United won because Wolves scrap, but I think we showed something today in certain elements of the play. I think our attacking play, I saw patterns and movements that was actually quite doing well. You know, the number 10 dropping down on one side, receiving the ball, not trying to turn with it, just flicking it over, shift play over to the other side. You see Ahmad there running with the ball, so much movement around the ball carrier, and even on the other side, So for me, I felt like we were really opening up everything. We were giving everything going into attack, and maybe it's a little bit too. People are talking about the Amarin football being boring. Well, today it wasn't boring. Today he opened up. He didn't sit back, and we were bombing on with both Ahmad, both Cunha, both Dalot, all of them. We had 7 attackers almost at every attack, I would say, and the 3 centre backs, and maybe Casemiro sitting back. So
yeah, it was what it needed to be. That's probably the best way to do it. So, there's not much you can say whether they were poor, we played well. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We're in that transition stage of the season going into Christmas.
We can only play what's ahead of us. So,
And what I liked is the 2 goals you obviously saw in the chat, Jarvis. I said about the Mbeumo's goal and Mason Mount's goal. There was a smart, just simple sideways step they both did to stay onside instead of just bombing forward where you're just trying to get goals. That kind of thing, that is coaching. That is obviously being get on the last man. As soon as he's lost, you go sideways because now you're onside. If he thinks you're offside and you move sideways as he drops, you're back onside. So when we get towards the goals, we can talk about that in more detail. But I see we've got a nice little super chat here from 21st Century Vampire.
Big up, legend. Thank you for the super chat. Let me play the super chat jingle for you, my good old friend. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for that 500 rupee super chat coming in from 21st Century Vampire saying, good morning, guys. 3 points is all that counts, I guess. Would I love to see Lacey get some minutes. Big up. Please like and subscribe to this amazing channel. Glory, glory, Man United. Thank you so much, 21st Century Vampire. I'm such an admirer of fans all around the world, staying up all night watching Man United. That's real dedication. So big up and respect for the Indian fan base. That's such a big, huge fan base. And what do you say, Mark? That's dedication. Would you have gotten up 4 a.m. to watch Man United?
Well, I suppose in a weird way, I do it for the American matches when we're on tour. But so doing it for a friendly is really going. A
couple of weeks midsummer when you're off in the holidays and all. That's something else.
But no, I do. I take my hat off to them all the time. Like early morning starts. Be it India, China, America, certain places. It's
Australia.
It's why Thailand, we are the biggest club in the world. You can't. This is what the players need to learn. This dedication is what you're playing for. I spoke about it a lot on my video, but we play for the badge. Wrong side on this, the badge, and that's what the fans are. That's what we choose as fans is the badge. We don't choose the players. So being up, supporting that. If I was still playing, I'd be commenting on that all the time. That's your Instagram post there, Jarvis, isn't it? That's for all the fans who are staying up at ridiculous o'clock.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get going with the match analyze and see. With United says 26 likes. So first of all, I want to bring up the stats from the game. Let's go through it. Just bring it up because I'm doing the editing and everything myself.
Jarvis, I'm starting to understand the problems now, you know, when I'm doing my own. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I get this. I get when you can say this now.
And especially when my computer is like super laggy, and every time I press a button, everything goes slow. Okay, so here you see it. The momentum of the game, as I talked about in the beginning, we were really dominating them up until the 25th minute. We scored a goal. And then we came into the 30th minute, and Wolves starting to be a little bit better. They had the momentum for the remainder of the first half and scored 2 minutes in injury time. So halftime 1-1, and you know, at halftime I was thinking for myself, oh, are we doing this again? You know, are we going to let the Wolves into the game and drop points against this poor Wolves team, because they were really poor. But we came out in that second half, guns blazing and scoring in the 51st minute. I think that's the Mbeumo goal. Yes, I think it's the Mbeumo goal.
Yeah, and Mbeumo and
yeah.
Pen.
Wolves huffed and puffed a little bit, tried to come back, but you know, then we just cemented the game. Mason Mount, and after that, I think we were in control. We did a lot of subs, and Bruno scored the penalty 4-1 in the 82nd minute. When you look at the stats, ball possession, they had 36%, and we had 64% possession. So we totally dominated them. And when it goes to XG, we created 4.1, and you know, scored 4 goals. So we were on target when it came to that, and Wolves created 0.41 expected goals, so they didn't create much. 27 shots in total for Man United and 7 big chances. So going on that, I think Man United really did well. If you look at the tactical board, if you see here, you know, there was nothing extraordinary as I could see. You know, I think we interchanged a lot in the beginning. You could see Mount in the 9, Cunha in the 9, even Mbeumo in the 9. So, you know, they were very fluent. I would have liked, as you pointed out, Mark, Cunha to stay more in his position, you know, to push them a little bit more back. But he didn't. He was very, very fluent in his style. So what's your take on that?
I think I put in our chat, in the first 10-15 minutes, you could see Bruno and Mbeumo, Mount sort of telling him where he should be. So, and there's not one part of me that thinks Cunha should be the player playing in that role up top. I think that's the Mbeumo role. Okay, we would lose him running in behind.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised actually that Mount didn't play it. If you think back to pre-season, Mount was playing the false 9 before we signed a striker, wasn't he? So
he did. So
it would have made more sense, because that's actually how they linked up. But it was, you say, it was very fluid. There was a lot of interchange, but I don't think by design. I think it was someone's out of position, I better get into that position, rather than you run in there and then I'll do a diagonal run across and drag the players. But it wasn't.
But as a defender, you know, defending against a fluent front 3, you know, it's always difficult, because where's your man? Who's your man? Are you going to follow him? Are you going to stay, defend your zone, or are you going to man mark? You're always in between. You're questioning, you know, your defensive play, and we could see, you know, the number 4 Agabadu. I think he had a terrible game. I haven't seen. I think he must be the worst centre back in the Premier League.
Clearing 2 off the line.
Well, yeah, but you know, it was.
What did you do? Well, I cleared 2 off the line. The rest of it, didn't want to touch the ball.
Yeah, but do you agree? I think he was super poor, Agabadu. I think he was.
I think that all of them were poor at the back, and I don't think we exploited it enough. I think the prime example of exploiting it was the Mason Mount goal. There were so many chances of that late run through into a gap, because it's funny you say about a fluid front 3 and that they didn't pick up. It was man for man, because they're playing three centre backs, and we had 3 people on that line. And where they were interchanging, or, you know, we were interchanging, they weren't following us, which is probably what we wish they were doing, to pull them out of shape, to allow the wing backs to get in behind. We did see that happen when Dalot showed why he is a right back and not a bloody left winger with a finish, because he made that so obvious where he was going to put the ball. The keeper just needed to dive to his left all day long. And if he'd kept it on the floor, the keeper doesn't save it. But it worked. And then I think they must have changed something, because they seem, like you said, they seem to get back into the game. And what was it that done that? And it just seemed that, in my eyes, we opened the midfield up. We went looking for the next goal.
Yeah.
And it was a game that was so easy for us. Sometimes, well, I can think of a game that was the most easiest game I ever saw Man United play, the Ipswich 9-1.
Yeah.
Every shot we had was going in, but we didn't change anything. Everyone just stayed, and we just kept moving the ball from side to side, probing. And if the shot came, the shot came. If it didn't, recycle the ball. It might be a ball over the top. Where we went tonight, and I think this is how Wolves got back into it. You made a point for, we looked leggy before the end of the half, and we looked, we basically can run for 30 minutes because we go chasing the balls you shouldn't chase. In the first half, if you play a ball over the top and you think it might go out or might stay in, if you're in that 50-50, go with it might go out, because you still got the rest of the game. There's no point making that sprint, because you've got to run twice as fast to get back on side if they clear it. And sometimes I think that's our biggest downfall when we go.
But do you think this is the intensity that, Bruno Amorim always talk about, the intensity of the play, and he wants more from his players? Do you think this is what he's addressing? Us dropping down in performance, we losing the intensity, because he wants that 100% full on press and counters and the intensity of the game all the time.
But we need to be tight.
Yeah,
we're never tight enough for a full on press. You need literally your front players and your midfield players, bar say Casemiro, to be in a full set sort of position and know what the triggers are. Right now, I don't know what Man United's triggers are to press. It seems like headless chicken is our press. Wherever the ball goes, we go man for man and we get close. But you should be 5 yards away if you're ready to press. We're always 10 yards away. So we're always arriving as they've taken their first touch, not before they take their first touch. Do you know what I mean? To force them to play back.
I agree with what you're saying, but it's also about the what do you call it? The anticipation of the play, and not all of our players are good in reading. They have the intensity in pressing. They sprint up in the first press, but they don't smell the danger sometimes. As you mentioned, I think there is a little bit of a coincidence sometimes when they go into press, and they should learn how to read the press play better. And you see the best pressing team, they don't go full on all the time. They smell the triggers, they see the triggers, and then boom, then you go in. So 4 or 5 today, guys swarming.
You just said Ampadu having a terrible game. He's my press trigger. When he gets the ball, the captain reads this and goes on his touch. His touch. If he's having to take that one extra touch, that is your press trigger, because that's your time to get there.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's going wide, they kept going back to Sam Johnson. Obviously, you could see they didn't want to do that. That's how we got the first goal.
And they always try to find Sven Larsson, but occasionally they try to play out from the back, and Andre was very slow on the ball. And I think that's a good transition. Going over to the goals, we can just look at it. So again, you see here, Andre is on the ball, very nonchalant, relaxed, and he loses the ball first.
Amorim, what us under Amorim, Jarvis, before you go any further, you look at his head movement. Look what he's looking. This is where you're not used to the shape or the players in what position they are, because he's looking for the pass. So as you play this through, everyone watching, look at his head movement. He's on the ball and he doesn't know where he's going, because it's not what he's used to. He's in no man's land.
You can even see his hands, his geticulate.
So there's no, So we've got a triangle there, and he could play an easy pass into the centre circle, and there's no player there to receive it.
It's wide open here.
Yeah,
this area. So in this instance, yes, the pass should be here, but this is his position. This is Andre's position. It's him who should be here right now. And you see here the players are way too high. They don't understand. They don't run down into this open spot and be available. So, you know, they put him under unnecessary stress. But, you know, he could easily just play the goalkeeper right away. But
and that's it. That's the mistake he's made. You play the easiest pass. I don't know if it's on his right and he's left-footed. You know, that sort of simple thing. So he's not playing it to the right player. But yeah, that's.
So
this is what I mean. They're out of sync. There's no pass apart from the goalkeeper, and he clearly doesn't want to go to the goalkeeper. Cunha is too close to the centre back. He might be able to intercept it.
And you know, for this long, and this player, I don't know what's his name. I think it's at is it?
I think it's the guy who scored, isn't it? The Bilal.
Yeah, Bellegarde. And you know, he should have dropped down way sooner. But Andre takes his time. Casemiro intercepts the ball, and you know what happened right here.
Oh, this is a joke. I'm not even Jarvis. You know when you said I thought it was going to be one of those games where when they got back into it, this would have been an example because in the last few games we've scored some goals we shouldn't have scored, and this was another example of a goal we should not be scoring. The dummy run, all he's got to do is fake the pass and roll it past Sam Johnson with his left foot. It just goes. Well,
he's trying to heel flick it or whatever, you know, in a position like this, doing something fancy with the outside of his foot.
Yeah, instead of just playing it back across with his left.
Yeah,
but then Bruno didn't want the ball, and you can see Bruno didn't want the ball. He's not anticipating that pass at all.
No,
that's why he loses his footing. But to lose his footing and still here, that's brilliant. That's horrendous, but. Even Sam Johnson's like, what the? How's he even turned the defender and got a shot off? And it hits him on. It hits him on the forearm. So when you look at it slowly, it's the keeper can't be a strong arm. You know, it's just bad luck. It's hit him on around his object and gone over his arm. But
it was a poor effort from Sam Johnson. I think he should have saved it. You know, he came directly on the goalkeeper, but one way or another, he managed to let that ball go past him. And you know, we were up 1-0. I'll take it. You know, but it was a poor defensive play from Wolves, and you know, not a very good attacking play from us. But again, you know, we need to be clinical, and I don't think when they assess that goal and watch it over, they will be happy about how they did. You know, they need to be more assertive when it comes to chances like that.
I think they'll be playing the circus music when they watch it back. Before we go any further, I see we've had 5 gifted Tactical Devils memberships.
Yes, we have from the legend again, 21st Century Vampire, coming in and gifted 5 memberships to the Tactical Devils membership. And we have Fred the Red MUFC received a gift. We have Barman, big up Barman, coming in and receiving a gift. Collins 407, big up Collins. Stian United 1 received a membership, and DKNC received a membership. So welcome to the club, and thank you so much for the gifted memberships. And guys, if you want to become a member of the channel, it will only cost you £1.99 a month, and you will be supporting the Tactical Devils. You know, we don't make any money by doing this, but at least it covers a little bit of our expenses. So thank you so much for.
And Jarvis, you know what is free? You know, if they can't afford to be a member, do you know what's free? Liking the video. Let's jump in there and give the video a like.
Yes, thank you, Mark, for reminding the viewers. But I would say this is a loyal community. They always hit that like. So guys, you are the best, probably the best community on YouTube, I have to say. I know they all say it, but I mean it for real. Yes, run the likes up. DJ coming in and say run the likes up. Yes, so we were 1-0 up, but now we are going to have a look at the Wolves goal. You know, they put us under pressure at the end of the game, and first half they had crosses from one side to the other, shifting play, and we were dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. And you know, I didn't like what I saw, but we can look at the goal and you can analyze it mark. Okay, so they had one cross from one side to the other side, and now came the decisive cross. He took it one touch high up in the air, so it was really good. Over to Møller Wolfe, the Norwegian guy, letting it into number 27.
I just want to say, what a finish to control that while half sliding.
Yeah,
I think the keeper could do better, and Ahmad is probably to blame here, but it's
okay.
One hell of a finish.
So if you are going to analyze our defensive play, what do you mean about Ahmad?
So Jarvis, how far is it across from one side of the football pitch to the other side of the football pitch?
Yeah,
almost
80,
50 yards, 40 yards.
I think it's more. Exactly, it's more on this. This is 60 yards at least on this pitch.
So he's crossing 5 yards in, because you can see that he's away from the 8-yard box, and the ball comes all the way across. Right now, there's 3 players in the middle. 2 are marked. One, Mazraoui, you can see number 3 is coming in to pick up the number 10. Bruno doesn't check his shoulder at all on number 27. So, Casemiro. Bruno is running in to no man's land. So where's Bruno actually going right now? But you can just see his head poking up in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. The guy who puts the cross in.
Yeah, Møller Wolfe.
But you cannot see Ahmad, who is the right wing back, who is at this point, this far back, he is the right back. His job is to be the right back of a back 5.
Defend the back post.
Yeah. So as you play it through now.
Yeah, you see Ahmad here.
He's not really looking at getting it, and it's Mbeumo who's actually, I would say, almost closer to the player. Bruno slammed on the brakes. Casemiro slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
Second phase, because you would expected the header. Ahmad still not stepped in. And as you play through, oh shit, that's my man. He sprints in.
Yeah. Too little, too late.
Bryan and Mbeumo's come back from a striking area. So it's not really his place to intercept. Casemiro's gone to the centre of the 6-yard box, which is correct. He's screening the other player. So there should always be man for man, and then you want one player in front to almost be the blocker. We see it a lot now, don't they? They come out and block.
But in a situation like this,
should players run towards Bruno, and
Bruno be covering this area here? I'm just asking.
That's where Bruno steps in from. That's where Mbeumo stepped in from, edge of the box. If you think about where we saw him just coming in from, there you would say, yeah, that's okay. But when Bruno turns and faces the ball, he's turning there. But we saw him a lot further out, and that ball came in, and he never turned to watch the play quick enough. Just from my opinion, if you can see the ball's coming in and you're not marking someone, you should have already been half turned towards the goal to clear it in case it came out. And then again, it's only another 90 degrees to turn to where the ball's gone to. You know how fast it takes you to turn on the spot, 180 degrees. 0.2 of a second or something when playing football. You're pretty quick at it. So just these are just flaws. And again, this is where the midfield was too open and they're coming in. You can see they're coming in from angles. We talk about it a lot, don't we? Where when you get the ball, you expand, and when you're defending the ball, you contract and you make it nice and tight. So these players should not be drifting in unmarked. What we got there, numbers wise, they've only got 5 yellow shirts if you count the one off the pitch. We've outnumbered them almost 2 to 1.
Yeah.
So.
But again, maybe this was just a lapse of concentration. You know, we dominated the game. Maybe the players weren't taking it too serious, defending as they should. Was it Arsenal who have installed this mindset? Even if you are up 5-0, you're not conceding goals. You can see Saliba and Gabriel, head first into duels. Doing everything to defend that goal.
Yeah, well, there were 2 things I was always taught. Whenever you score, your mindset should be it's 0-0. You score a goal, you go back to 0-0. Don't concede. and make sure you score the next goal. And if your mindset is always that, it's don't lose. That's your mindset, right? But also, if you want to keep the ball out the net, you've got to defend as a solid team. You've got to know your roles. And we are switching off, Jarvis. And do you know why? It was too easy. And that is a young player's mindset. That's what I don't get. So when you've got your little ones, and I could go all the way to my under 18. When you're playing a team that is nowhere near the level of the players you've got, sometimes they all start trying to shoot. They all start trying to beat a player. I want to take that free kick. And you switch off. It's a little bit too easy. And then the next thing you know, you've conceded a goal. And it's very hard to get going again. And that's why we're probably lucky that the halftime whistle went. Because you could get in, get your bollock in. How the hell have you conceded a goal? We've been all over them. And that seemed to work this time. Because 6 minutes later, we step on the pitch, we score, and then we run away with the game. So mindset, as Jarvis, you talk about it all the time. Mindset. We are weak.
Yeah,
we are mentally weak.
It's mentality.
But the reason going back to that goal being conceded, how many weeks now have we seen a centre back, a right-sided centre back, trying to talk to Amrin, going, "I need help. I'm too exposed." They're exploiting that gap. So Ahmad is a weak component defensively, whereas Dorgu, you could say, is a weak component going forward because he's always in the right place. He gets back and makes the blocks, and it's then you get him on the ball and he gives away a sloppy pass or the cross goes into Rose.
But this has to be on purpose, playing one winger and one fullback as the wing backs to try to balance it out.
Yeah. And he done it at Sporting. He had one attacking, one defensive, but the defending. He's 10 yards off the pace. Yeah. So we always talk about attacking patterns. Whenever you talk at football, pretty much anyone who likes talking tactics or talking about what they saw in the game, it's always on attacking play, isn't it? We're going forward. We play this formation. It's a 3-5-2 or 3-5-1, and it's never what's a defensive formation. We think it's 4-4-2. But today, it certainly couldn't be 4-4-2 because we couldn't keep it 2 strikers up the pitch. It was sort of like a 4-4-1-1. I'll say Mount was the other one.
Yeah.
And they've obviously been told to do something different in this game. That's what I felt. And maybe it sounds so negative and degrading, but maybe Ahmad isn't that smart as a footballer.
Well, you'd be talking about football intelligence, understanding the game, but most of football intelligence comes with experience because you need to make mistakes to learn. And there's not many extremely football intelligent youngsters in the world. That's why most youngsters play wingers and fullbacks. Those are the most easiest roles. You don't have to understand the game to that extent.
To the reason we want Shay Lacey to come on today so he can start learning that intelligence. So yes, so that's what I mean. Ahmad's learning. He's going to make these mistakes, and that's okay. I don't mind it, but it seems like he's not learning from those mistakes because he's been pulled up by his defenders multiple times.
Yeah. I have another clip I want to show you, and I want you to focus on Luke Shaw in the mid circle here, and how we talk about being aggressive and stepping up, and I really like this tackle from Luke Shaw. I think
2 in 2 weeks. I know what you're going to show me.
That's a massive tackle. There's no nonsense, as Catherine McDade sometimes says. And
I think Champions League that gets given as a foul and he gets booked.
Maybe because he comes in with studs and then a straight leg, but he's clean on the ball.
Like Stu's probably absolutely beaming with a smile when he saw that going. But for me,
but if you look at the referee, he couldn't have a better view of
he couldn't. And what he does, he's clearly got in front of the player and meets the ball, and the player hits him. I don't think he touches the player at all. I think literally the players kicked him going for the ball.
Yeah.
But where you've got that pause right now, is he jumping in?
He's jumping in, yeah. Oh, he's sliding in.
But you see what I mean? Is he jumping in or is he sliding in? Because he comes in so fast and hard.
But even it could be considered reckless because of the power of the tackle. But again, I think the referee sees it. The referee sees he's clean on the ball, and there's no initial contact from Luke Shaw. They smash into each other after a while, but I think it's a fantastic tackle. And this is what we need. We need from our centre backs to be ruthless when it comes to situations like this. And it's so important. I think Amorim needs this. We can't start backing down in situations like this. If we want to be on the front foot, we talk about counter press, but this is also counter press coming from the centre backs. And I think this is where people have misunderstood a lot of this Amorim system, because I think he depends on the centre backs to be this aggressive, to show this level of aggressivity.
Yeah, and Jarvis, that is spot on. That is absolutely spot on. But do you think we love that tackle? I can watch that over and over again, for 10 minutes. But did he need to make this tackle right now? Look where he is. If he doesn't get that ball, the player could almost be clean for a one goal.
But if you see the beginning of this pass, he needs to anticipate, the ball could have easily gone over his head, gone like this. And so he needs to take a little bit of distance. Maybe it's right, because he
but
clearly
the tackle, he hits the player hard. Where's the ball going? He doesn't control the ball. So he has just literally smashed the ball back towards them. Now, in the second half, we had I won't say world class, it's overused. Mason Mount, he volleys that ball through to Mbeumo, who stumbled on the ball.
Yeah.
If this drops to one of their players and another player was there, bear in mind we can only see 2 out of their front 3. I'm just saying, did he need to make that tackle? Could he have stood up?
As a defender,
we all love to see it.
It's always good. It's always good to smash into someone. You get the adrenaline going, and you feel you are in control of your man. You get a little bit of respect, and next time they will back off. And as Mark glazes out, coming in and says the Wolves player's body position is very open. He knows what's coming. He's afraid.
He knew. He had the steam train coming. And he just plants his body, like you say, he spreads the legs. He knows he's not going to get hit, but he knows there's going to be contact, so he protects himself. And which is fair play. But it was a lovely tackle. Love to see him.
But I think Luke Shaw, this season has played himself up really well, and we're starting to see the old Luke Shaw now, and he will end up in the England team eventually. I think when it comes to the World Cup, if he continues this run of games and staying injury free, because he has the experience and he's starting to look better and better for me. I think in the last month he played himself even better, more up, and than he were in the beginning of the season. I think he looked very unsure. You could see he wasn't up to speed. Now he's slowly getting there.
It's interesting you say that, Jarvis, because that's what the manager spoke about, wasn't it? About him playing left wing back, which saying he hasn't trained there, so he can't play there, which is the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard, when he plays left wing back for England up until he got dropped. So, okay, he doesn't know the technical aspects, but I'm pretty sure, in fact, I will go to the point of saying it's nailed on. We do not have one-to-one coaching on our wing backs. So he's in those sessions playing as left-sided centre-back and knows what the left-sided wing-back's being told, because he's an experienced, leader of our team. He's played 300 matches for us out of 650, but, he knows what he's doing, and I think quite easily can step into that role on the left wing. And I tell you what, you start putting tackles like that in the left and winning the ball back and stopping counter-attacks, great. That could have been Mo Salah he was putting on his arse. Well, it won't be Mo Salah, because let's be fair, I'm not sure he'll be in the Premier League in a few weeks.
No, we have seen the last of Mo Salah. He's not coming back. He's not coming back.
But going forward, we've said left wing back. He's the most obvious choice. We get the butcher back at left side as centre back, or maybe even central centre back after tonight.
I think we will actually see him as central centre back because I think he's commanding. I think he knows how to command his troops, and he's a general on the pitch. So I wouldn't mind playing Licha in the central position. The only thing, always we talk about his aerial abilities. Maybe it's a little bit too small because the game has evolved this season. More long throws, more corner kicks, more free kicks. But
he's the best passer we will have out of the back. He is our best passer of the ball.
100%.
Right. We're still not seeing it much today, but yeah,
but I like it. I like it a bit because I see him coming into that midfield, playing alongside Casemiro as a DM when we are attacking, and it also gives more freedom to Bruno. Bruno wouldn't be that exposed when heading off. Bruno likes to be part of the attack. So at least Casemiro will be more solid with a guy like Licha besides him, and when you have the aggression from.
We saw that today, didn't we? Heaven was alongside stepping in with Casemiro when we were pinning them back in their box, and therefore when Butcher would have done the same when he steps in, but we didn't really get to show that till the last few minutes when we win the penalty because we weren't pushing them back as high. But yeah, he's more than capable of doing it. He done it under Ten Hag. He's done it at Ajax where he steps through the midfield to play the balls in from the edge of the box. So he's a ball playing centre back at the end of the day, a proper ball playing centre back. He's not a dribbler, but he'll just walk forward to the ball and pick the right pass, which means, like you say, our passing diamonds, triangles can start higher up the pitch because you can step forward with it. Because they know if they try and jump on him or press him, he'll pick a pass out and bypass the press. Whereas Harry Maguire can hit a superb diagonal, but his short passing is a little bit predictable. So is Dalot. But they're different kind of centre backs, aren't they? They're your solid enforcers, and Martinez is a nice hybrid of everything we want, apart from his height. If we could put an extra foot and a half on top of him, he'd probably be up there as one of the best centre backs in the world, I think, with his aggression, ability on the ball, and then obviously he'd have aerial ability.
But Mark, if we deep it a little bit when we look back at the formation, I have no evidence for this, but I have a hunch that Heaven was pushing up. I saw that a lot of times he was pushing up, and Casemiro, and it allowed Bruno to push a little bit higher. And Bruno tends to move to the left. This is his area, and Mount was also here. So in a way, we played like a 2-2-2, and Dalot and Ahmad, even today they were high and wide, and most of the interchanging was with Cunha and Bruno almost playing like a 2, but sometimes they did it like this. So
yeah, so I didn't really like that. It's not something I like in football. There's certain people you need to just know where they're going to be at all times without looking. And when you go fluid, you don't know who you're passing the ball to.
But you do agree that Mount has more defensive responsibility than Cunha, for example?
Yeah. No.
So
responsibility might be the wrong word. He certainly will put in the hard work we haven't got the ball, I'll get back and defend because I see the space. So again, we were talking about football intelligence. Mount is by far probably our most intelligent player on the pitch. And that's why Amorim loves him. He knows where he needs to be at what time, how to make those runs, how to, when to foul a player, when not to foul a player. The only other player with that kind of intelligence is Casemiro, but he doesn't have the legs to do it. So I was talking the other night, you'll always see Casemiro, where you've got in place now, that's where he'll give a foul away. He'll always do a deliberate foul anywhere near the centre circle where the ball's got to go long into our box. And, to stop a counter-attack, he'll take that yellow card. The downside is no other player on our team would do it. until Mount come in. I can see Mount being a player a bit like, do you remember the Ollie sending off from the corner where he chases the player back and deliberately kicks it?
Against the Newcastle. Yeah.
You know Mason Mount's going to be that kind of player. He'll take one for the team. So with Butcher coming back in, Mount coming in, we've got Casemiro. These are the players who will, what's the right way of phrasing it?
Push the
take
team, carry
the sort
the
of
team.
mentality to the next level.
Yeah.
Lead by example rather than have to be a captain. I don't need to be a captain. I'm gonna foul him, then you're gonna foul him.
We have a question coming in from Marco Glazes out 611 saying, Jarvis Mark, is this our team going forward?
Well, it's hard to say because we're about to lose 3 of those players. They've got 1 game left. I'm not even sure they're playing the next game, Jarvis. It's still unclear.
They will play. I'm almost certain they will play. It's stated that that we can have them until 15th of December. So the game is on 15th of December. So we ship them off on the last plane.
But then you've got to go internationals. Going, what if they get injured in that game? You've held them to the last possible second, and then they get injured in that game. That's what the communications with the authorities that they were talking about must have been. It's like, what are we going to do if they get injured? Because you're not subbing him off. You're not subbing him off. I'd be worried if I was the international manager. But is this our best team going forward? It might be one of our best teams on paper. I think Cunha's... Well, we probably should talk about Cunha. Jarvis, did you feel that he was feeling the pressure from the home fans, from the Wolves fans? Every time he got the ball, he was getting a little booze from around the side of the pitch, and he had more shots.
I don't think he minded stuff like that, but I think he wanted to put in a good performance today, and he was a little bit hot. He came in a little bit too.
I would have dragged him off the pitch at half time, and just so to bring him back down to level, going, hang on, you probably need to come off, mate. And he'll be like, why? I want to score, because you're doing too much. So at least threaten him with the substitution.
You see Cunha having a little bit of the Bruno syndrome, wandering all over the place, not keeping his position. Because I feel like he's that type of player, but it doesn't show that much when you're higher up the pitch.
No, because there's less space for them to occupy. Maybe the chat can come back and let us know what they thought, but I thought, Cunha was getting in people's way a lot of the time. I saw him over on the right in where Ahmad and Mbeumo are always so tight together anyway. And then next thing you know, Ahmad and Mbeumo are like this, and Cunha's popping up in the middle. And you're like,
if you look at the heat maps here, for example, if you look at the Mbeumo, you clearly see him. This is his area. This is where he plays the most. But when you go to a player like Cunha, what's going on? Cunha, you see, it's all over the place. Yes, it's here. So he's all over the pitch.
I said at the start, I don't get why we play him as a striker, because like Stu, before we even signed him officially, Stu was saying he's a deep line number 8. So he's a 10 that likes to play in the 8, come back, get the ball, turn and face you up and run from deep. So to put him as a number 10, okay, I get that. But to put him as a number 9, well, he's not going to turn and face anyone up. He's got to play with his back to goal, which is clearly what he hates doing. So, whereas I said before, Mbeumo and Mount, they seem to be able to do that a lot better. Mbeumo played, obviously, in a front 2 with Weitzer at Brentford. So he's got a little bit more of a role, understanding of that role. And Mount was playing the false 9, and I thought played it really, really well because he's unselfish. He really doesn't care about scoring goals. I do find it weird. But
and he has the ball ticking. But even Mount, he keeps his. At least he's on the left hand side. It's not all over the whole pitch. It's on up and down on the left hand side from the mid circle and up until the sideline. So,
but you're right. Like we mentioned, fluid. If it was fluid, then Mount and Mbeumo would have interchanged. But it always seemed like Cunha went and got in their way. so they weren't interchanging. But I get it. He was desperate to score against Wolves.
Yeah,
he was desperate to put in things like that's why I went.
He
to Man
even
United.
wanted to take the penalty, but Bruno weren't having it. Did you see it? He was like asking for the penalty.
I felt it. I didn't see it, and I wanted to. I was going to bring that up. Right. I want to know from everyone if they felt Bruno should take that penalty. He's missed 2-3 penalties this season.
At least 2.
And that normally is enough in any club, professional, non-professional, semi-professional, that you'd be taking off penalties. Because Mbeumo is a top draw penalty taker. Cunha is a top draw penalty taker. And I was like, give him it. Do you remember he gave Rasmus and Rashford both penalties?
Yeah.
You haven't scored. It's getting on. He gave him the ball to take it. Well, if as a leader, and you could see how much this game meant to Cunha, and you've been training, he would have been proper up for this. Probably a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
So I would have given him a penalty. But if you felt that, the flip side is if I feel that nerves from him, am I now thinking he's going to score it? So. But I
was thinking the same. I think he probably should have given it to Cunha, but especially on we were up 3-1, so it didn't matter for the result. We would have won it anyway. So, but he's the captain. It's his choice, and in a way, I admire the selfishness. I think if you want to be the best, you take no prisoners. I'm not letting
someone take a penalty off me ever. I've only missed 2, but that's why I'm never letting someone take it off me. But it's like you just said, Bruno scored a goal, so Bruno's got his goal. We're 3-1 up. This is to put us 4-1 up with 5-10 minutes to go. Well, it was a lot more. Also, I don't know where he got 9 minutes of added on time.
It was the VAR, the handball situation. Yeah.
But yeah, I felt he probably should have given it, because he's done it before. And it would have been good for team morale. It would have been great for team morale.
I thought in the beginning when we started talking about this that Bruno should have let him have the penalty, but the more I think of it, I agree with Bruno. Fuck it, take it yourself.
Well, he meant it. He certainly meant it, because it wasn't his normal run up. No jump and roll it in the corner.
No,
he smashed it in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
So 40 or 40.
Yeah.
I've seen him miss more than 6 penalties.
But it's good stats.
Definitely miss more.
But maybe it's Premier League. Maybe.
But at the end of the day, we're nitpicking because we can afford to do that when we've won a game. I'm just saying, going forward, Cunha is not going to the AFCON, and Mbeumo is. We need to get him goals. We need to get his confidence up, and that's what being a team player is all about. Whether Mbeumo plays the next game, he's certainly not playing the game after that on Boxing Day, is he? So we need to get Cunha scoring. We've got no Sesko, Xerxes.
But Mark, I don't like when players do like this pity thing. I'll give you the penalty because you can't score on your own. So here you go. And when Rashford scored that penalty, Bruno gave him. Rashford was celebrating like he won the World Cup, and right back at you, all the critics, for scoring a penalty. But he was just papering over the cracks. So for me, I think it's a stupid thing to do. Just. Yeah.
Jarvis, there's a
but he's the captain also, so maybe he should have 2 thoughts in mind at the same time.
It's not pity if he's asking for it. Let me take the penalty. It's true. I want to take the penalty. That's not a pity. Giving him the ball when he necessarily doesn't ask for it, that's a pity penalty, mate. Take it. Go score your goal. No, you're the captain. Do you know what I mean? You're the penalty taker. That's a pity penalty. You're trying to hand it off. If he's asking to take it, you're now kicking him when he's down. As a player, imagine that as yourself. You're playing this Legends game, and there's a penalty. And you want to take it. The boy's in the thing. He's filming it. It's going to go on Tactical Devils. You've been fouled. You want to take the penalty. And the captain's like, no, I'm the penalty taker. I'm taking it. You feel a little bit of But if it was roles reversed,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's not a pity penalty. It was maybe the wrong phrasing from my side, but I get what you're saying, Mark. Talking about the penalty,
we should have had 2. If this is a penalty, the other one was a penalty.
Is this a deliberate handball?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, he moves his arm out. So,
but it seems like he tries to get away, and when you shift your body, your arm automatically hangs. Because
Jarvis, have you never done that yourself though? Not necessarily just in football, but you go with your arm and then you try and get it out of the way. It comes out before it comes back in. It's almost like I've got to flick it out to get it to come back. But please tell me how this is a handball, and the one in the first half where he moves his body towards it and it hits me pretty much in exactly the same place. I can't think what his name is.
I think the first one was even clearer than this one.
Yeah. And so for me, they're both either a penalty or neither are a penalty. I would feel hard done by, because I don't know if you can get it where it stops on his arm.
Yeah, around
pretty much that's as close as you're going to get it. It's probably still touching a part of the shirt sleeve, which they're saying if it touches the shirt sleeve, it's not handball, because it's the shirt sleeve and up is, if it hits there, it's fine. So anywhere if it touches it, I thought the other one was more deliberate, because he sort of moved his arm towards the ball and batted it, where his arm finishes behind his back from here. But we'll take it. We don't. There's been plenty of penalty positions we haven't had in the last 2-3 games. So
okay.
But for me, no, I don't think it's a pen. I think it's proper harsh.
VAR gave it, but my question is, why didn't VAR review the first one? If the referee didn't see it.
They did. They cleared it straight away. And yet this one was, like you say, it's harder to see. You've just had that camera angle. They must have had a clear angle where maybe if you're watching it from the side on, there is more of an arm movement outwards. There's definitely this outwards movement that he brings in. But it's very minute. But the first one, there's a forward movement, a chicken wing almost into the ball, from what I saw. But everyone's going to see that different. At the end of the day, we got one, we scored it, and like I said, there's a lot we haven't had any at all. So,
but by the way, we have a raid coming in from Noradin. Thank you, Noradin. Noradin raid, he has finished early. He had a sickness bug, so I hope you feel better, Noradin, and thank you for the raid. It's very welcome. So guys, do as King Solbot says, like and subscribe, everyone. If this is your first time on the Tactical Devils, I would appreciate more subscribers on the channel. We are a small up and coming channel. I think we had 1,600 subs before today's show, so maybe we will move up a little bit. But most of Noradin's viewers watch this channel too, so thanks again to Noradin for always giving us a shout and pushing the channel. France comes in and says VAR was shambolic. There was a stamp on Cunha Cass. Yes, there was one in the first half. I could have seen it, looked it through and given a red card, or was it clear and obvious?
I don't understand what those words mean anymore, Jarvis, because that's what FAR's instruction is, clear and obvious, and they're re-refereeing every decision. There was a few, I thought, late tackles or leave, what we would call leaving one on someone. Which I've seen other refs give yellow cards for. I thought the ref was okay overall. He tried to let the game flow as much as possible, but there was certainly in the first half some slightly late tackles going in, leaving one on someone. Aiden Heaven, probably the only downside to his performance was the one where he went down clutching his face and he never got touched in the face, but the guy did hit him late.
It was like a shoulder thing from Sam Larsen.
He didn't hit him in the face at all.
No.
And Mazraoui got caught. I know that one. I should see Barman saying about that. But at the end of the day, we were giving it out So we're going to have to take it as well, because we were certainly going, like you say, Luke Shaw flew into that tackle. He could have actually destroyed the guy. Mazraoui flattened someone, got away with it. Who was the first yellow card we got? Someone.
I think it was Mbeumo. Mbeumo on. He took one professional foul. You know, he lost the ball, but you know he won it back by winning the penalty. So no, the free kick.
Yeah. So like I say, everything in football swings and roundabouts. So, but most important thing, if they're giving it, you've got to give it back. And I felt we have started to do that in the last few games, mate. You know,
you mentioned the Aiden Heaven situation, because I think Aiden Heaven had a brilliant first half, and for me, you know, he might as well start the next one. I wouldn't mind, because I see him gradually coming into this now, and you could see his confidence growing, and especially this play. You know, you see him on the ball, he's calm, takes it back, good old centre back step over, and just releasing the ball and keeping it in play, but you know, dropping down like a sack of potatoes and holding his head after a challenge like that. You know, it's
Well, to be fair, he overhit the pass, so unless he already knew, I've put too much on that straight away and went down. But again, that's good centre back play in this day and age. Take the hit,
very good,
get the player. But Heaven, I was really surprised actually in the last game that he went off at half time. Remember, he made that change, and I was like, oh,
it was because of the yellow card. The yellow card.
But he was on a yellow card in this game, wasn't he? Didn't he get booked for that tackle where he flattened him?
But not in the first half. Was this in the second half? Maybe.
I thought Heaven. I couldn't have asked more of him, and so far, he's been a left-sided centre back. He's not played in the middle, and the last two games he has, and he's not looked out of place. So is this another? I don't want to talk about the youth because I know where it will lead us with the chat. But is this another one where he's been recoached into this central centre back? He's definitely tall. He's very good in the air. He's good on the ball.
And he steps up into the midfield and helps out shielding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Martinez. Actually, Aiden Heaven's doing the same sort of thing, stepping forward, but he's younger.
But
I think this turn is more the striker's not used to. He knows nothing about Heaven, doesn't know what he's capable of, and that actually he's got a step over. If Harry Maguire tries that step over, I don't think he runs towards the goalkeeper. I think he stays on the player.
Yeah.
So,
but do you think he pissed off Strand Larsen here by doing the step over, and you know he clearly fell for it, and you know he felt like an experienced Premier League striker, and coming up a youngster like this and doing a thing like that, you know, you got to give it to him. And do you think they had a personal battle in this game, Heaven and Strand Larsen? Because Heaven, he was dominating him in the air for the full game.
So, chat, right now is how you know what kind of player Jarvis was, because he already knows what the answer is here. Yes, he embarrassed him. He sent him the wrong way. Yes. You know, we don't need Stu here going on about the Jarvis chop week in, week out, although Jarvis has it on preload. You know, you just press a button and it comes up.
Ready to go.
But, yeah. It is that, isn't it, Jarvis? It's exactly probably what that player felt when you drop the shoulder and go, wait, there's nothing more embarrassing. You know, we call it sending them for a hot dog, or, you know, sending them to the shops. Like, it's terrible. When my under 18s do it, some of them will be like, oh, yeah, can you just get us a pack of crisps? You know, and run off with the ball. You know, they've even got the smarts to actually say something. Yeah, that's what we used to do. Or ole with a nutmeg.
Yes.
But yeah, for a centre back to turn you inside out like that, it's not a nice feeling. But he's not exactly a skillful striker, is he? He's another tall, lanky striker, so he's not the hardest to turn in Larsen. But
no,
it was definitely, hey, don't take the piss out of me. Bang, he hit him.
But I feel for Strand Larsen. You know, when he plays for the Norwegian national team, when he comes on as a sub, he's a completely different player. You know, playing for this Wolves team is you know, it must be dreadful. They create nothing.
Well, all he can do is look up to Haaland in more ways than one right now, can't he? He's looking up to everyone. But yeah, I probably would have done the same. I would have, the arm would have come out, the chicken wing, put him in the barriers, which would be around our pitches, and be like, yeah, try that one again.
Big up, Noradin. Thank you for the comment coming in and say smash the likes, people, for the high quality analysis. Thank you so much, Noradin, and thank you for the raid. I hope you feel better, buddy. It's coming down with the bug. It's just not good.
There's a lot of it going around at the moment. My brother's family's all been out. I've had to take the whole game myself on Sunday, Jarvis. I had nothing. From coach to manager, still undefeated every time I stepped in. But
ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game. We had wind, rain. It was horrendous weather on an artificial pitch. So every time the ball hit the floor, it just skidded out of play.
Yes. Interesting comment coming in from ITN saying, understand all the chat in panel. This is just a little bit of excitement. We are miles off any consistency and picking up big trophies. So we're so low as a club. We just enjoy this big win. But
that's what we're saying, though, isn't it, Jarvis? We're saying like the first goal's scrappy. We're lucky.
Yeah.
There was balls that tried to be played across the box, but no one knew where they were going to go. It is scrappy football, but do you know what? Play shit and win a game is great feeling because you can only get better. But it does right now feel we play well, we lose. We play shit, we win. And I think it's clear as day. Like the scoreline didn't flatter us tonight, but we certainly should have had more. You think they cleared 2 off the line where we weren't clinical enough in the finishes. We had about 4 decent pullback opportunities cleared out the box where they got back in numbers. First few minutes, I think. Oh God, what's the goalkeeper's name? He made 2 or 3 good saves. Obviously the Dalot one, I think, and if that's Cunha or someone they scored.
Sam Johnson.
I knew it was next United. Yeah. So yeah, no, I totally get what he's saying. But we've got to be buoyant. We're 6th place. We should really be 2nd. If we played like this in the other 2 games, we're 2nd at the moment. And that's the honesty, but that's football. Liverpool are still below us. Win.
Yeah.
We're not 15th. Win. European place. Win. Let's take them. Let's take the wins. Because it's still a long way to go. What, we 14 games now? 13, 14, 15 games?
15 games. So let's have a look at the table, how it stands at the moment. So we see Arsenal on top, Man United now sitting 6th in the table, 25 points, equal as Chelsea, 1 point behind Palace. But there's 5 points up to top 3. Villa, City are on 31 and Arsenal. So at least the 4th place is in reach. So if we just keep on doing it.
Same points as Chelsea, and Chelsea were being talked about 2 weeks ago being second favourites for the league before Man City made their turnaround. So look at the points. Look at the games played. We're not even halfway through the season. The points are super, super tight. What if we win our next game? We are.
Who do you have coming up? It's the next game is Bournemouth. Yeah, I think it's Bournemouth away.
Bournemouth.
15. Yeah, Bournemouth. Yeah. So
then after that, we could lose 3-4 games because we're losing players, but we don't have the like-for-like replacements for. So we have to be aware. We're unbeaten in 10, unbeaten in 9. I think it's 9.
I think
we've got. Oh no, so not unbeaten. Sorry, we've lost 1 game in the last 9 games.
Yeah,
1 game in the last 9.
Yeah, it was 1 in 8, but now we are 1 in 9.
Yeah, so if I gave you those stats last season, we finished 15th. So we've already got close to our points
ahead of what we were last season after 15 games. 6 points. Yeah. So we were on 19.
So you've got to take it, and yes, it's embarrassing, but there's other teams there currently being embarrassed. We lost to Everton. Everton are 1 place below us. We're the only team to beat Sunderland in the so-called top 6 so far. You know, Brighton just drew with West Ham. We beat Brighton. We drew with West Ham. These are all teams that finished above us, and actually we're worried about playing. So be more positive. I'd rather take a point from out of a game for nothing. And Jarvis, when was the last time we saw a +4 goal difference from Manchester United?
Oh, it's been a while. That's been a while. You know, I think it's 2 years now since we had a B. We always been around 0, -1, +1. But you know, it's good. It's good. So if we can beat Bournemouth, who knows?
Yeah. And if it's 1-0 off the back of someone's arse and goes in the corner, great. It's a 1-0 win. It's 3 points. We walk away. We move on to the next game. No one ever used to take the piss out. Well, actually, we did. We all took the piss out of Arsenal for boring Arsenal. Well, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many goals you score. You only get the same amount of points. So,
but it's interesting reading the table. I think we have been lucky with the results. You know, things are going our way. And when you look at teams like, for example, Villa, they have overperformed the XG table by 9 points this season. So
I saw that.
It's
they're averaging
remarkable when you look at Villa. But you know, Unai Emery, the Basque coach, is doing really well. And they have had a remarkable turnover on the season this year. You know, 5 wins in a row, at least, maybe more. Now sitting third.
They were terrible, weren't they, Jarvis? Start of season, terrible. They couldn't get the ball in the net. Story. You might just want to have a little think about that comment about Lemons yet to lose. Was he not in goal against Everton?
Yes, he was.
So the teams this year, it feels like year on year they're getting tighter and tighter. Everyone beating everyone in the top half of the table.
Yeah.
So
it feels like things haven't settled yet. It's like a melee. Everybody's fighting everybody. Everybody gets in a knock or two, and you take 1 or 2. But we are still in the fight. We are still in the fight.
Jarvis, this is like the 90s.
Incredibly.
90s, early 2000 in Italy. Every team was capable of beating everyone because there's so many good, decent players in the league. And just one wrong move, like we did, one wrong thing against Everton, we lost to 10 men. And all they had to do was defend. One wrong move against West Ham, and we get a draw. But there was more than enough chances to win the game. That's the Premier League. We've said it for years. We just got to remember that we're not the almighty Man United of the past. We are, but we're on our way back there, and it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But as long as we're moving forward, that's all we ask for, isn't it, Jarvis?
That's what we ask for. That's what we ask for. But let's run quickly through the 2 last goals. I don't want to show the penalty. You know, that's nothing to analyze. But this is the second goal, the Mbeumo goal.
I love these next 2 goals. I absolutely love them. This is my kind of finishing.
What's going on? Add to stage. Okay, here we go. So how you see, we just intercepted the ball, and when we talk about transition defense, the 3-4-3 has a very good transition defense because you have 3 attackers and you have a double pivot. So they are actually in good shape, good balance with 5 players defending this transition, and this is what Amorim also, why he likes to play this formation, because it gives him solidity actually. But it doesn't work like this because you see how stretched out they are. You know, the distance between the players.
Right there, John.
This way, diagonal, and
that is as perfect as it can be because there's no players around them, so they're not stretched out. They're covering the spaces. You know, like we talk about our centre backs, they should be narrow at one point, and when we get the ball, they go wide. So the left and right centre back go wide of the 18-yard box. You can see their centre backs coming up. So it was a long ball, wasn't it? We're going to counter attack their counter attack.
Yeah.
This is very Liverpool-esque, of how they won the league last year. So centre-back's coming up, and Mbeumo actually never gets back on side, which if you're a coach, you need to teach your strikers to do this. To play wide and play in the centre offside, because you're not offside if the ball goes wide. and then Mbeumo said, this is just smart play. We got a bit lucky.
But you see one centre back is moving up, and one centre back is dropping down. For me, that's never a good shape, to be honest. You see Mason Mount, he tries to find, I think it's Cunha, but the pass goes through the
player and rebounds, isn't it?
Yeah, it rebounds, so he goes this way. So a little bit of luck were involved in this play also, but again, I think we did okay. The ball, you see it's no offside, and Dalot comes on a great run, brilliant from Dalot.
Can you just take that back before Dalot plays the pass? So watching Mbeumo, everyone just focus on Mbeumo's run here. When Dalot's about to receive the ball, I'd say it's about 2-3 yards from him, and Mbeumo is clearly a stride ahead, 2 strides ahead. He takes a sideways stride to stay on side, because as he's about to receive the ball, he steps to what is in Mbeumo's right to keep himself on side.
Okay.
And that is so hard to teach, because he's running forward. It's almost like when you're a little kid and you have to run around the cones. Yeah, you're doing, and sideways step, not forwards. Don't keep going forwards. When he sees the pass, he steps sideways. So it's like opening your body out. It's very hard to see. There's another angle where you see it better, where they do a sort of overhead, and it's just one step to the side, and that's enough to stop you from going in front of the player. It's brilliant, but there's nothing worse than conceding that goal because the goalkeeper knows straight away. He's gone, oh no, what have I done? He just knew. But you're right. If you go back to the rest defense where he's coming out, then Mbeumo is offside, and the centre back has tried his hardest, but because the right sided centre back jumped out of that position, the whole thing went to pot. And we see that with ours. This is about being structured. Now,
but Cunha was here all the way, and Cunha, he dropped down and then moved up.
Yeah, go back.
So he dragged. It's brilliant movement from Cunha, and he actually dragged the defender with him, and he shouldn't have gone up. The defender should have dropped down in line with the rest of them, and the DM should have gone here.
Yeah, or let him go, Jarvis. Because what's he going to do? He's going to turn. He's going to face you up, and you can delay him. But if you follow him in and he turns you, you can't delay him. You're going to have to foul him. But the main problem here is it I'm going to say Agadou. I know it's not Agadou because that's a dance. But,
I think it's Mosquera. I think he's the right wide centre back.
Yeah, so Mosquera's gone in. Agadou in the centre. He plants his feet and stops, which you can't do because the other defenders, as you quite rightly said, right at the very start of the clip, they're coming back towards him. So if his body motion is to go forward and they're running that way, you're making it so easy to be onside. Do you see what I mean? Even if it was tight, because of the lean of the player. So it's luck, a bit of luck, because it's a poor pass.
Yeah,
it's a poor pass to.
But Dalot, he makes a brilliant run. He goes all the way, and he continues his run all the way also. But it doesn't demand much. You just have to run in a straight line. But you have to have the engine to do so. In a situation like this, because he most likely have sprinted back home to be in this defensive position in the first place, because there was a double transition, and now
if you think about how he gets the ball, though, Jarvis. Bruno is obviously now trying to put Dalot in. Yeah, he's trying to play Dalot in, and he gets a little ricochet, and then the ball gets played again. Well, actually, he should be playing Cunha straight through. Cunha's on the run.
Yeah,
the player's got his arm out to already grab hold of Cunha, so it's a foul.
The first ball should have gone here, and Cunha should have picked it up.
And then Cunha can reverse it into Dalot.
Start running on the 2 defenders. and it will open up space for both.
It would have been even easier to score.
Yeah, it would have been 3 against 2 in that situation.
This is the Hollywood pass.
But I'm not sure if it's Bruno or is it Mount. No, it's Bruno. It's Bruno.
It's Bruno. Mount, I can see his silver boots, so he's the furthest of the back. Yeah, it's Bruno. And Casemiro, and then Ahmed outside him. Yeah, it's definitely Bruno. And so he tries the Hollywood pass, and that goes wrong. But we score from it this time.
But we are nitpicking. We are nitpicking right now. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the players. The performance is okay. How the level of the opposition was, it's hard to say, but it's a good counter.
If we want an improvement to play better, this is the kind of pass that it needs to be to play better. That's all I'm trying to say. It needs to be that, and you can see why. Bruno can continue his run. Dalot continue his run. 2 players go towards Cunha, and we've got 2v1 with the other players running. It's just a critique. A critique of what a situation could have been done quicker. That's all.
So okay, going on the third goal, brilliant cross here. I think it's Masraoui who received. No, Masraoui gives the ball to
Bruno.
Is this Bruno? Yeah, and Bruno turns with it and curves it in.
So if you just hold it there, stop. Just take it one frame back. That'll do.
Oh, you wanna look at Mason Mount?
No, I want to look at Bruno and Casemiro.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is a goal, and this is nitpicking, that is really bad central midfield play right now. They're your 2 holding central midfield players, technically out on the right wing. If this ball was cleared straight through the middle, bear in mind Dalot's got his arms up, who's our wing back, who's inverted.
You want Casemiro in this position?
I want someone there. And to be fair, that's meant to be Bruno's position there. So he's stepping into Casemiro's space. This is where just patterns break down. But it worked out. Again, we're nitpicking, but this is how we improve as a team.
But to be fair, this was a cross from the left-hand side. It went over the whole box and went over to the right-hand side, and then it shifted.
It shifts, but it means we can't move the ball quickly because on one side of the pitch is all our players, and on the other side of the pitch you've got to play a further ball, which is easier to cut out. But this move by Mount, like you say, we've just got to focus on Mason Mount here as much as possible because it's all about the movement, the run. And again, he takes a sideways step to stay onside.
Yeah. Just a small one?
Just a small one, because what he's doing, he's got his body shape totally right. You can see the defender. You can see that he's got hardly any space. He's got the arm probably and the shoulder blade to keep him onside.
It was a little bit late. So you see here, there.
And it's just a jump onto the other foot and push back the other way.
Yeah.
That is, Jarvis. It's a thing
what
of beauty.
What about the Bruno cross?
The Bruno cross.
Are we allowed to give Bruno a little bit of credit for actually doing something fantastic?
Yeah, no, Bruno is a world-class player. There's no doubt about it, and he can produce these moments of thing. But that's the first time I've seen one of our 10s make a late run into the box.
Yeah.
This season. We don't do it enough. Normally it's Bruno making the run into the box. Well, if Bruno's the best ball player we've got, he can't make those runs. It's sort of proving the point of what we try and say. If he's such a good assist maker, Bruno, don't get in the box. Assist, cross the ball, find the pass.
Stay away from the box. But I think, if you want to break down this is a low block in this instance. They didn't play a low block through the game. They played a high press, medium press. But in this instance, I think this is the way to break them down. You have to come with diagonal runs and then deep runs to break down the established defense.
If it goes wrong, you're offside. And if you get offside 2 or 3 times, they're going to think, Jesus Christ, one of these might actually work. So they're going to start thinking, I'll better pick him up. And then the bigger gaps creating that low block. So it's all about making penetrating runs. the selfless runs, but the finish is so calm, just strokes it nicely inside of the foot, strokes it in the corner.
I always stated that Mason Mount is the best at our team to do these runs. He has the intelligence. He knows
it's the
how
second one he scored like
the timing is almost flawless. It's perfect. So I rate Mason Mount when it comes to these parts of his play.
Yeah, this is what he done for Chelsea, and I think it's growing up alongside Frank Lampard, the late run into the box and finding the space, and that little jinx step to stay on side and not break a stride is, well, it's just a warm-up routine to do that.
It is.
It's just a warm-up step. Fast feet, take a step and run. And it's, yeah.
I agree. We have done 1 hour, 35 minutes. So I want to open up for the live chat. I know we have been talking amongst ourselves, analyzing the footage and stuff like that. So guys, if you have any questions, and I want to ask a question for the live chat, because I saw someone, I think it was ITN saying, this is not sustainable. And I want to ask the question to you guys, and I will let Mark try to answer it. Is it sustainable what we are doing right now? And could we expect more? Is this like the building block of going forward? Are we seeing the progression needed, or are this just a fart in the wind, getting away?
I see both sides of it. Is it sustainable? Well, it depends what we're talking about. If we're going to start making these runs into the stops, penetrating runs, you've got to have the smart players available to do it. Now, Mason Mount is finally starting a lot more games than he ever has for us, Bruno has got a couple of assists and a goal. That's the Bruno we want. But let's look at the season so far. That's not been there. We've won. And straight away, no one's talking about the system. We lose or draw, it's the system's fault, but yet we're playing it for the same game. You need to learn the system, and you need to win, lose, and draw. You need to have good games. You need to have bad games. So, is it sustainable? That sounds more like it's what are we trying to sustain? I don't really understand what part of the question, so maybe we can come back with a little more.
Well,
what is it?
Let me try to explain. Are we able to recreate this performance yet another time, and will it be far in between, or can we do it, like, say, every game or every other game?
Well,
because when you look at team, for example, Brighton. Yeah. I know you have connections to Brighton. You used to play for them, at least at the academy level. So again, they have a sustainable way of playing football. You can recognize the Brighton style. For me, when it comes to sustainability, can we recognize this Man United team and see them recreating this in other games? And how often will it happen?
No. So from that point of view, 100%, it's not sustainable. But it's not sustainable because of the manager. It's not sustainable because of what he's asking them to do. That is all sustainable, right? What's not sustainable is the fact that players pick and choose what to do in their role on the pitch. So football is now robotic. It's all about positional sense and things like that. So that's why I'm having these little nitpicks about Bruno and Casemiro tight over there and silly little things. So is it sustainable? Yes. Can our players sustain it? That's the question which about 5 managers have been asking. Why can you do it against Man City, Liverpool, get us to cup finals, get us, the big games, and then we come up against the small teams and you don't turn up? Weak mentality. So Brighton, I thought we played really well. Probably very similar to this, Jarvis, and hence the reason we got the goals.
But you can easily see the Brighton play, how they play the layups, the 1-2s. They play easy football. They drop down and the counter movement. It's not that hard. The Serbi style is still in Brighton. And what's his name? The young German guy, Hasenhüttl. No,
Hassel. Yeah, I call him Hasenhüttl. or whatever his name.
Hasselhoff, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
And he also played quite similar, you know, and even the centre backs, like what's his name, the big guy. He seems like a baller sometimes, you know, when they play out from the back.
Oh God, yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not one of our players. I know who you mean. I can't think. I always go say for Tongan, it's something similar. For Barton, or was that the goalkeeper?
For Bruggen, no,
that's the goalkeeper, isn't it? It's similar. It's right on the tip of my tongue now, and it's gonna come. I'm just gonna shout it out at some point. No, so yes, chat. Is it sustainable? I think the players need to prove to us that they can sustain it. Like they need to prove to us that they can run for 90 minutes. So it's the one question that needs to be answered. For you know, Erik ten Hag got sacked because we couldn't sustain performance on performance. Ollie got sacked because we couldn't sustain performance on performance. So, yeah.
The chat is saying Dave comes in and say it's not sustainable, no chance. He's not having it. DC coming in and say it's sustainable until we get better players in key areas. And I think also it comes down to quality. I think us, let's say, buying a couple of central midfielders, maybe a wing back will help this team, and maybe even a striker could help, because I don't think Sesko is ready to lead the lines yet. I'm not fully convinced, at least when it comes to Sesko. DJ Superfly guy comes in and say, "Come on, stop it." The system against Wolves is 2 points really. So yeah, I know they are poor. They are the poorest team. I think I've never seen a poorer Premier League side as this Wolves team. I have to be honest. They were really bad. I think it's one of the worst team I ever seen. You know, I remember Derby in 2008, and you have other spot.
The way they started the game tonight against us, they didn't want to be out there, and maybe this is the first time when they had a protest outside. Obviously, the fans came in late. Maybe the players felt that a bit, but it's been poor. When they brought in like 90% of the Portuguese team and things like that, they've been on a downhill spiral ever since that. They play silly money, and now they've got no players. So, but guys, we have to beat them. We scored more goals against them than certain other teams have this season, but are higher up the league than us. So we've got to take what we can get.
Yeah, but things could turn around if we get Champions League next season. The new PSR rules comes into effect.
That's a big change.
That's a big change. So we could actually, if we have a little bit of patience and build on this AMRIM system, we could see a remarkable change, you know, when we come into 2 seasons ahead of now, and we could actually start signing real big names. Because, you know, it's one thing signing Cunha and Mbeumo, but when we pick from the top shelf, Cunha and Mbeumo is neither, you know, they are not at that bracket.
No, they're showing inconsistency right now.
Yeah.
Right, what's Mbeumo? Mbeumo on 6 goals for us now? 6 or 7 goals?
6.
So he's almost halfway to what he scored last season. Cunha's got 1. And before this, and I saw some of your names in the chat saying they're going to score 30, 40 goals between them. You know, you've got to be realistic. Every season's different. Coming into a different team, playing in a different position, it's going to change. You know, they didn't have to face many low blocks like they will when you're playing for Manchester United. So, what's next? What we got next, Jarvis?
Be cool coming in and say just had to say for the people that say Man United hasn't evolved. 27 games, 27 points. Yeah. But you know, we have 25 points in 15 games, so we are doing better. We are 6 points ahead of schedule of last season, so
we could
we're 6.
And no, we should be.
And if you have won against Everton, if you have won against Fulham, if you have won against Forest, if you have won against, we could have been fighting for the title with Arsenal right now.
Fair, we shouldn't have even lost to Arsenal. That could have changed things up. First game of the season. If you change that result to just a draw, the league looks awfully different.
You know, I think it's a very, very simple analysis of where we are at the moment. I think we are where we should be. You know, we are, as Amorim have said so many times.
Sometimes we play bad, good. Sometimes we play bad.
Yeah, and you know, this is where we are. We play good and bad. You know, so this is where we are. We are. This is our level.
That's what we should have played to that question. Is this sustainable? Fucking if the manager's saying that answers your question.
So what does it take?
In my head, I was like, yeah, we're screwed.
What does it take? What does it take for us to be sustainable? Is it the players? Is it the system? Is it the manager? Is it Ineos? Is it the Glazers not backing the manager?
At the end of the day,
Did we choose the wrong direction when hiring Amorim? Because, you know, I know it's a very difficult question, and we don't have time to answer it fully. But, you know, where does the shoe?
Are we in a rebuild, Jarvis? Are we in a rebuild?
100%.
According to the club, are we in a rebuild?
100%. Yes.
So therefore, it's not sustainable because we're rebuilding. We don't actually know where we're going to get to, and we just got to take the games we got. If we finish 14th, we're one place better off than last season, but we're not. We're going to finish in Europe. So let's forget about whether it's sustainable. Let's celebrate the wins. Let's keep that positivity towards the players, but more importantly, towards the club. You know, we sing for the club and stop singing for the players. Sing for the club and take the club forward.
But I get it. I get a lot of you as fans, me including, you know, are not happy with how we perform. I think the performances are too weak. You know, how we go in week after week, and you know, I actually did go into this game expecting us to not win. You know, I was thinking this was a banana peel that we were going to slip on our ass, you know, because of this. But at least we got it over the line. We won the game comfortably. We have Bournemouth coming up the 15th. I think we need to recreate this. And, you know, we have the AFCON coming up. We will lose 3 of our starting 11. And I think it will affect the way we go forward. But one quick question before we wrap it up. Kobbie Mainoo. You made me. You wanted me to show a clip of Kobbie Mainoo and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, something I didn't like. I spotted it. People are probably going to disagree with me, and I would have liked someone like Noradin in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but if he'd been on, if you want to play the clip, and then I'll sort of explain what it is. So this is just a simple pass from Bruno to Kobbie Mainoo. And I have played to a semi-professional level. Not everyone gets on the pitch, and sometimes you just play a shit pass. Sometimes you play a deliberate shit pass. And Jarvis will tell you, I literally straight away this was played. I got in our WhatsApp group and I said I wanted this clip. This is a deliberately slow-weighted pass to try and make a player get hit in a tackle. So, Jarvis, if you like to do the honours, look how simple this pass is into feet. And he just takes all the pace off of it, meant he could do nothing. Now, Luke Shaw would have smashed him. And this happened about 2 or 3 times. And it was only that this was the most deliberate one I saw. But when there's a player around, and Kobbie Mainoo's facing forward, so he's quite lucky here.
Yeah.
But this isn't really the pass to get. The ref's in the way. So stop it there. And where's he going? It's a bad pass because you can see Mbeumo's just standing there waiting for the ball to feet. And when Mainoo was over on the touchline, he had something very similar, a little flick pass with the outside of his foot when Mainoo's got 3 players around him. Now, Jarvis, I know you like Mainoo's close ball control. He's very good at manipulating the ball under pressure. For his size, he's actually very strong. But there's a lot of talk about him, whether he's capable of playing in Amorim's system. I believe tactical devils. We all agree he is. But there's one player he needs to dislodge, and that's Bruno. What if those two players don't get on? What if Bruno's seen as one of the players who got Mainoo's mates out of the club, i.e. Rashford, Garnacho? This kind of pass I saw as a hospital pass. So I'm asking chat whether they see what I see. Maybe I'm seeing it slightly different. You know, when I saw it I saw it once in real time and asked Jarvis to clip it for me. So it's just to see what other people are doing. But where the ref was, where the players are, it's just bang. He's just going to get hit. He could have been crunched by two players. Yeah. And it was but I also saw this similar pass with Bruno and Casemiro in the first half, where he plays it so soft. It's like, you're going to get smashed.
See, a couple of the guys are agreeing with you, Mark. It's a strong accusation or theory or what you're saying, but
it could be a bad pass. He could have hit the ground.
I see Bruno do stuff like this all the time, and he slows down the play and he stands there waving his arms and wants players to go where he wants them to go. It's almost like he's forcing this to be Bruno's play, Bruno's way.
It's not Amarin's tactic; it's Bruno's tactics.
Yeah.
But look at Bruno's body position. He stopped and watched what's happened. So he didn't play the pass to move off and go somewhere else. He's almost standing around and watching what seems to happen. I just feel there's something there, and there's got to be something there, Jarvis, because there seems to be a split in the camp.
I have to sit on the fence when it comes to this, but when I look at it, as DC mentioned in the chat, he could have easily played it on to Mbeumo. Yes, by looking at it, but as a player, I know you have to control the ball before you can move it on. And Mainu, because of the pace of the pass, the ball movement
there was no pace on the pass to play that.
The ball is dead the moment he touches it, and this is the problem because he needs to move it on with an extra touch. So it's a poor pass. Yes, is it deliberate from Bruno? Well, I don't.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's 100% deliberate. I feel it's 100% deliberate, and I could have been enticed by social media because at the last game there was a clip that went viral of Casemiro shooting daggers at Kobbie Mainoo as he walks past him in the warm-up. I don't know if you saw it, Jarvis. So he just walks past him and he just gives him the most horrendous, dirty look at Kobbie Mainoo while he's warming up. And these two are playing together, so there's a divide, and I'm seeing it's 1 and 1's making 1,000. But I just
but a lot of interesting comments coming in actually on this clip. Be Cool comes in and say Mainoo doesn't know how to play one-touch football, and that's a problem in Amarim's system, especially in the building phase. I think you're onto something. I think this is maybe why Mainoo is in the doghouse. When it comes to this,
holding on to the ball too much. But then Ahmad would be in the same doghouse. And I do see players having a go at him for not passing the ball quick enough on the pitch.
Yeah, but we don't have many alternatives when it comes to Ahmad's position. I think that's good for. And also this one from Time Space Continuum coming in and say, but the movement in the final third isn't there. We lack fluidity and positioning outside of Bruno and Mason Mount. Off the ball movement is limited, and this needs to repeat focus work in training. 100%. We need to work on the patterns, the attacking patterns.
But the main thing with that is we need a striker that's going to run towards the box to create that space, and we don't. If a striker's coming back into the space where the 10s are, the 10s are then on top of the midfielders, and we end up with 5 up front and no one to actually make any runs. So, and we spoke about that probably the last two weeks where
we did.
Sesko with no Sesko might link the play. And he doesn't turn a sprint into the box, nor does Xerxes. The only player who used to do that was Rasmus, but he was too busy fighting with the player. He's certainly learnt not to do that now, Jarvis, hasn't he? I don't know if you've seen the 2 goals for Napoli against Juventus last night.
Yes.
Again, it's another coach. Maybe he's got more of a striker's coach. I feel he could come back in and do a job for the team currently right now, but we can't call him back. We probably
no, that ship has sailed. I don't want Rasmus back. He's not the right profile in my mind.
But it's more of a profile for not having a second striker, right now, surely.
Yeah, well,
because if we go for the midfielders and the wing backs, we're still not going to be able to find that striker. So
we have to rely that Obi will be ready in time for next season, hopefully.
Again, that's a can of worms. I don't think this show's capable to opening, but we're just talking Obi. I'm fed up of people talking about JJ Gabriel, people like that, because right now Amorim's not showing us that those youth players are going to get in the squad. Or they get in the squad, sorry, but they won't get on the pitch.
Yeah.
So
Dave is not agreeing with Be Cool's comment about one-touch football, but I can slightly agree with this comment, because if you're trying to see it from Amorim's perspective, it's not my perspective. I'm not saying Mainu is doesn't know how to play one-touch football, but if you look at it from Amorim's perspective and how he wants the system to perform and what he expects from his players, this is where Amorim can be the one who say he doesn't know how to play one-touch football. He doesn't progress the ball. I don't think you can say that
about Mainu, because I would then put Cunha in the same. Ahmad, Cunha, people like that who like to get the ball and run at players. So that's not one-touch football. Their first thought is control it. Can I turn and face the player up? Mainu's is a bit like that as well. And that's because he used to play in the 10 role. So he certainly can play a pass on one touch. But as a team, we can't play two-touch football, because that's why we can't break down a low block. We can't play one and two-touch football, move the ball quickly across the lines. And if you want to make the runs, you need one and two-touch football and runs penetrating. So football is a simple game, isn't it, Jarvis? That's all you need. If you move the ball, play 1-2 touch, and have runners going in behind to pull the defense apart.
Oh, so much running in football,
Yeah,
I used to have a lot of stamina when I was younger. I could run all day long, but not anymore.
Jarvis, there's a lot of things I could do all day long when I was younger, but
don't even go there. Don't go there. It's been a brilliant show, guys. A lot of people watching, but I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed when I look at the likes. We are only on 39 likes, and we have been over 100 people watching, up to 150 people watching at one time. So please do us a favor, if you haven't, smash the like. It doesn't take long. It's half of a second. You press the thumbs up and you support.
Guys, all you got to do, if you're on mobile, it's just click out of the comments, exit, come out of the comments, hit the thumbs up, and come straight back in the comments. It is that simple. I know a lot of people, Jarvis, listen to us rather than actually saying
more than a podcast. Yes.
So guys, just when you finish, just jump off, hit the like button, then turn your phone off, because most of you are going to be on your phone. I can't see that many sitting in front of a laptop at this time of night. Maybe you're streaming it on your TV. The TV is the killer, Jarvis, for YouTube. Watching it on a TV is a pain in the ass to click the like button.
Yeah, that's if you're watching on TV and not hitting the like, you are forgiven. I fully get your I'm not demanding too much. But by the way, when it comes to the podcast thing, I'm working at the moment on actually bringing Tactical Devils onto Spotify, like a podcast. Yeah. So that will be the next stage of the Tactical Devils. So, I appreciate all the help we get, and the super chats from I Am Titanium, 21st Century Vampire, also gifting memberships, and all of this. That's the support we need to evolve and grow bigger. But we are never going to be a Mark Goldbridge or Saeed or any one of these big 100,000, 200, 1 million subscribers. But
I think at least I
want to create a environment where we can talk football, and I don't want more than 100 people watching anyway. I think the chat goes too quickly. I can't even read what people are saying. So I'm happy with what we got, but we need some financial help on the way to expand. So I'm so happy, and I appreciate all the help you have given me. And if you don't have to donate money, but you can at least smash the like. So that's just it. Yeah, never say never. Well, I wouldn't mind being a professional YouTuber, quitting my job and just sitting here talking about Man United all day long. But
the thing is, Jarvis would actually not just follow the media bias like myself. Like I don't either. It's actual general real talk about football, not I've got to cover this story. If there's no story, Jarvis just wouldn't go live. He'd be like, I'm on the golf course. There's no story today.
yes.
But Jarvis, I am now understanding your pain after finally getting out of YouTube jail and putting the first one up on my channel. It's watching it all, and and it's very distracting, isn't it? You've got the chat going on one side, you're trying to follow that. You're trying to talk to people on your own. It's fine when you've got someone with you. But I
definitely need someone being my sidekick while I'm doing the show, because I have all the clips, the intro, outro, everything, and reading the chat and the super chats and all of this. So it's not as easy as it looks, but hopefully I have some progression and getting better and better. If you go 2-3 years back, I was horrible. If you go back and look at the MUFC Realistic TV, me and Mick on the first couple of shows. So my first show with Noradin on United Real Therapy, being a caller, I could hardly speak English. I suck at it right now, but back then, it was even worse. So at least you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, and guys, for those that you aren't aware, I've done. You can see now I'm United Lens and not Balls Out Podcast. First video went live, 15 views, absolutely bricking it for 35 minutes, filming it, realizing, am I getting faster as I talk? Do you know what I mean? Trying to get through it, trying to remember everything. And like Jarvis said, it's scary. And you just realize, actually, the more we do it, and we're doing it for the love, we're doing it for you. And that's it. The likes, the subscribers. If we grow, we grow, right, Jarvis? If we don't, we enjoy.
No worries. We already have the greatest community on YouTube. You guys, and always coming in supportive, positive. We might not always agree on everything, but we keep it civilized and we respect each other's opinion. And I think this is how a football debate should be. It's not about me talking louder than Mark and disagreeing with him. It's all about different perspectives and trying to learn the finer arts of the game. And by the way, guys, if you want to see more of Mark and his new channel, I just posted it in the live chat. This is his latest, his first show. So go on that, subscribe to his channel, give him a like, and leave a comment in there.
Honest feedback, because I'll tell you what, I was bricking it. And you can probably see me on here and you watch that and go, oh, he seems a bit different between these two videos. It's comfortable with Jarvis. It's a lot easier. We can bounce off of each other, but doing it on your own, it was there was no one to agree with Jarvis. As I was always told, I only have one person I have to agree with in life. Well, now it's two. Used to just be agree with your mum. Always agree with your mum. Right now it's agree with your mum.
If you're planning to do anything on Wednesday, I'm available. I'm not doing a show on Tactical Devil. So if you want to have me on as a guest, feel free to invite me.
When's Wednesday? Wednesday's tomorrow.
No,
it's 2 days away. I'm struggling to keep up with the days with work and everything.
Maybe you have
to have a look at my schedule.
For Stu tomorrow also, because Stu recently moved houses. He's moved to a new place and
I didn't want to tell Stu. I didn't expect
he's not up and running yet, so that's why Mark and me are here tonight, and not Stu. Gordon Hill coming in, great job, guys. This is the most balanced and not for clicks United channel. Always an interesting watch. Thank you so much, Gordon. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's the feedback I love to hear. Because this is what I'm trying to create.
Yeah, just honest talk.
Yeah. Guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. We have done 2 hours and 3 minutes. Oh, it's been a marathon. So it's time to wrap it up. And hopefully we will be back tomorrow around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., but it depends on Stu. So if you're not going live tomorrow, it is what it is. But I will try to make a show, you know, for you guys. So it will be great. When are you going live next, Mark? Have anything planned?
What is it? It's Tuesday tomorrow. I've got to do a reaction video from today, so I'm going to try and fit that in tomorrow, or otherwise that'll be the Wednesday one. But it's fitting it in around work, Jarvis. You've got your schedule, you know when you fit it in. I've got to fit it in around football training as well, and planning my sessions for them. So it's just those little tweaks now, and and get my thumbnails down to under 2 megabytes. So that's a pain in the ass. When I'm trying to do my thumbnails, it's like I've got a picture.
I know a trick or two. I know a trick or two. So if you ever need help, just let me know.
Yes, okay. I will do. But yeah, no, there will at least be. I'm looking to do 2-3 videos a week. You know, just the normal standard. But if there's nothing to talk about, I'm not going to go live for just the. Well, as if you've watched my video, you will know I am Mark Langridge. I am not Mark Goldbridge. Mine is my real name, and you get real content. You know, so
big up.
I'm not just going to do it for the clicks and for the money.
Isn't his name is Brent or something? It's not Mark.
No, yeah, it's. I think he's actually like David Brent. You know, I think that's probably his real name. On The Office. No, I don't know what it is. It's The Office. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's a Nottingham Forest fan called Brett.
It is what it is, you know.
If you want to believe the rumors.
Well, you know, I'm not here to criticize any other YouTubers. I'm just
nor am I.
So, yeah.
We just have similar names. It's funny.
So again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Nas, Be Cool, DJ Superfly guy. Who else? Gordon Hill coming in with that lovely comment. Thank you. Day147. Big up, Dave. Time Space Continuum. All of you guys, you know, it's okay to have a different opinion. You know, this is why we are here, and talk it out. We will be back hopefully tomorrow, and you will see Mark tomorrow or Wednesday, the United Lens. So everybody, thank you so much. It's been a great show, and we will see you on the next. Have a good one, and bye-bye.